Well, I closed that one out and opened it on StreamYard. That's twice now I've tried to stream through the YouTube app, and as soon as I ask a question, boom, it goes to the Circle of Death. So, um, Ukraine has been lying about everything. It's that whole thing. Uh, I'm not on Russia's side as far as their stance on the way to run your country, but I've uh, sorry, but I feel Russia was justified in what it did in Ukraine. The end. They're just defending their borders. They let those countries out of the Warsaw Pact or something, whatever it was, anyway, where they were like, you have to be in Russia, you have to be the USSR or whatever, and it's okay, you can do your own thing, you just can't join NATO, and they just kept joining the NATO. So anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Anything that's said, I mean, you can't trust the right or the left on what's going on over there. The rich and powerful in the U.S. wanted Ukraine to accept the deal with them to explore the oil and gas around Crimea. And they were already in the process of signing the papers to be in partnership with Russia for it. It's just what we've been told about that over there. None of it is true. And the people that didn't want to join Ukraine when they kicked out the duly elected president, the Ukrainian military was literally over there bombing these people in their homes. The people with worn out ass World War I rifles were trying to defend themselves against very high tech weaponry, and Ukraine wasn't risking their soldiers; they were just lobbing bombs into the towns. So anyway, that's I don't want to really talk about that. See if we had a bunch of guys I really like talking about too, and I like talking to all of y'all, but had all the cool kids in here and the other one, and then it went to Circle of Death and everybody left. So really wanting to know what Corsair. I had to see about that California thing. See if it was for the really reals. We live in DEF CON too. Quite honest. I grew up with that. From the time I was 5 to the time I was 17, we lived. That was one of the things about the house. The house had to have a cellar, and not for tornadoes either. YouTube didn't like what we was talking about and wouldn't let my live stream continue through their app. Come over here and go through. One, I just asked Corsair about that thing I read on the news about how they made it illegal for you to misgender somebody over there if he knew if it was real or not. And that was it. That was the end of the live stream. Oh, why doesn't it say the saint over here? Yeah, everything's just fine. Don't worry about it. High desert. You and your coonies or whatever they are. You got miniature pigs. We got miniature cows. I was walking on I call it the beach. It's a park at the lake. It's called Pebble Beach. And it goes for miles. Uh, and if the wind's not blowing too bad, you can stay down close to the water. It's not bad because there's sand and stuff, and it's pretty firm as long as you keep moving. But there's just pebbles all over. It's like little pebbles everywhere. Anyway, I found this. And I put it in my pocket, and it's like a really heavy piece of brass that's got some stuff on it. It says something, some kind of spinner bait thingamajigger. Anyway, got to have a fidget spinner at my age. And I can't just sit here and twirl the little thingy around and around and around and around and around. That just annoys me. I actually quit going to one church because the preacher cornered me on always uh, having to do something while I was sitting out there. He's like, "Why can't you just sit still and listen to me? You got some. Is there anything you need to talk to me about or whatever?" I said, "Yeah, I got ADHD, and if I don't keep my hands busy, I'll literally explode all over your damn building." Adult attention deficit disorder. As long as I keep my hands busy, I can follow everything you're saying. I don't have to make eye contact or anything. I can literally do what I'm doing and turn your words into a video in my head. And uh, if you say something that is contrary to what I believe or what I've come to believe or that I didn't know or whatever, I'll be like, boom, and I'll be like, whatever. And I think it made him nervous how I would just every once in a while just go, pink, zone in on that. Anyway, then keep on the truth there. So. It's a really nice place to walk. The lake is. Fishing sucks right now. Had a die off. All the big catfish died. Literally. I actually started to do a video. I got the footage somewhere. I must have found 300 or 400 catfish over 20, 30 pounds. Up just, it was like somebody put poison in the water and killed them on purpose. So, then I saw that there was something on the Cast Master with a K. Acme Tackle Company. That damn coyote was out there trying to fish. Acme Tackle Company. Cast Master. Now that we all know that. I don't know why every once in a while the string, boom, everybody's gone again. Did everybody leave? And they ain't got to try to kill no weeds in that lake. There ain't none in there. It's one thing. The levels fluctuate too much. The weeds can't really get a grip. Can't get dug in. Huh. Showed that there was nobody in the stream. I guess the internet must be crap or something. Yeah, Acme right there. It's just makes me have to keep this thing. See if I clean it up a little bit more. See if y'all can see it. Probably not. Stamp's pretty deep. I doubt if y'all can read that. There's Acme, whatever, Cash Master. Acme Tackle Company. And that thing, this brass and it's corroded as all can get out because it's been out there in that water a minute. People drink the water out of that lake every day, but I wouldn't do it. That sure one of the local towns gets their water. That water's, I mean, you could almost build a fence out of or a wall out of it. It's so damn hard. Anyway, um, I did shot a 30-minute video earlier today and tried to upload it, and it wouldn't let me upload it. And it was over the same thing I was thinking about when I started this live stream. And that was all kicked off. I was watching. Was watching, and then finished watching your little live stream or whatever you did, or you're in your chair out in the wind. Um, and the fact that they sold our bank and everything, it just we're not going to know when. They're not going to give us any advanced warning on when they're going to switch to digital currency. And those of you who do whatever, videos and stuff, I would strongly suggest that you do a video about this and suggest other people do video, because I would really like to find out just exactly how many of those Bitcoin mining towers they're putting in. They're putting in two within 30 miles of each other here. And these things have a massive amount of electrical draw. They're it's the amount of electricity these things take is insane, and it's literally 4 stories. That's 40. 4 stories tall. I think 16 feet per story is what they're doing. Each floor's got cooling fans, transformers, and servers. Cooling fans, transformers, servers. And they're having to build them out in the middle of nowhere because of the amount of noise they make. But that's an awful lot of processing power for Bitcoin. But now, if you put in enough of those all over the place, it would be really easy to switch. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but it'd be really easy to switch to using them for, say, just 100% digital currency if you've got enough of them up and running. If you're already going to have the noise level, I would start looking at watching for them to come in low income, near low income housing, close to old airports, where the noise levels are already high already. Um, you know, wonder how many of them would fit in, say, Chicago's abandoned automobile manufacturing industry. They're not going to add any jobs to anything because it doesn't have to be anybody there. I mean, I'm sure they'll have a security guard here or there, but the thing runs itself. So, yeah, but the Bitcoin towers are going there. That's just a smoke screen. Everybody thought some random dude from La La fairy tale unicorn horn up his ass come up with Bitcoin and just put it out there and said, okay, everybody, this is this new thing. Yeah, some guy named Clifford Isaac Arizmendi come up with that idea. And uh, what is it? Donald. What is it? That other one starts with a D. Donald Oscar Herrera Sanchez. Just so now everybody's giving them the money. This just occurred to me. People across the globe have given them the money they needed to build the towers to process the digital currency that they're going to force us to use. And man, I wish I had my Bible with me. Hold on. The something else you brought up about it being biblical or whatever, HTTP. Um, come on. Stop. 13. I was trying to using Google as a a concordance. Because I can do that. Okay, here it is. I've heard studies on this saying that uh, if you don't get the mark, they're going to kill you, and you know, or you've got to resist the mark, or it's denying Christ, or blah 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 blah. Blah. That's not what it says. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. There's you either have to openly worship the Antichrist, or uh, through necessity or ignorance, have to agree to play by his rules. Which there's no way out of that. We're all gonna everybody everybody does the mark. It's something that when they do it, you either do it or you're gonna die. They're not going to kill you if you don't get it. You're either gonna do it or you're gonna die. Because when they go to digital currency, it's going to be automatic. You think you like how taxes and stuff work now? You think because it's digital currency that they're writing your check in, that they're going to stop doing income tax? How about they stop doing income tax returns? The AI will handle all that taxes. And you want to argue with the AI about whether or not they overtaxed you? You want to see a paper trail? What paper trail? Digital currency. I don't need anything special to give and take money with this phone. So there's no excuse. I'm just running this by you, but in their left hand or on their forehead, little Bluetooths or whatever. Let me see. Um, I don't know nothing about that. 99. That's something else, High Desert. Yeah, that's people are like, we're going to see the Antichrist any day now. The Antichrist has been here since, I don't know, uh, right around the time Moses was making them tablets. The Antichrist is just a spirit. Those the people that fall into that and rise to power during that, and the beings and entities and stuff that are going to come out and stuff, they're not the Antichrist. They're a part of the Antichrist. The Antichrist is a belief system, a spirit, it's all over the place. The Antichrist isn't going to be one person that was born and come out and be this and that and everything else. The beasts aren't going to be somebody's little baby that was developed in a dog in France or whatever. It's just going to be somebody that sold their soul because they don't fully understand what's actually going to happen to them in the end. They're here for now. Sounds like somebody deceased you, 99. You need to check into that. But anyway, people that are buying gold, but they don't possess the gold. That's the thing now. People purchase gold that they never see. Somebody else is holding the gold for them. That's not your freaking gold. When it goes to digital currency, if you're lucky, they will switch your market value worth of that gold to the digital currency. You will not be in possession of the gold. Now, some of the guys, like the people that were holding the gold for you anyway, will probably have some kind of loophole because they have the facilities and this, that, and everything else. They will get to continue to control and hold that gold, which means they will still be filthy rich. But you won't. Buying gold that's not in your safe is not buying gold. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. If you want to buy silver and you want to buy gold and silver and keep it in your house or your safety deposit box, which I don't know, those are going to be kind of iffy. That sucks for you. Really, it does. I mean, I hope you can get it figured out. Exactly, Desert, and I don't understand. I mean, uh, right now, I wish I was healthy enough to be. I'd be taking. Uh, I'd be taking trips into those parts of the world where you can still go pan for gold. Uh, you know, yeah, yeah. If you work your butt off for 2 or 3 weeks and all you get's 2 or 3 ounces of gold, or maybe a half an ounce of gold, or whatever. That's gold that nobody knows about but you. That's gold that they can't come take because it's yours. Um, and you only got to get really, really lucky. there's a lot of Asians that have figured out this gold mining stuff. They're uh, they're getting good color in their little panning things over there. The fact that there's that many Asians over there panning for gold right now and making it makes you wonder what they know about gold. Is China fixing to back their yen with gold? You've got to have it in the treasury to back it. I do not think there's enough gold in the continental United States to back the amount of dollar bills that are printed. I don't think they could switch it to the value of gold. And so that's not something that's going to ever happen again. I still need to get that one piece of metal I found. I'm so sure that it's gold. It scares me. That piece weighs more than this. I don't know how many ounces of this is heavy. And this is brass. And I've cleaned it up and it looks like brass. That I cleaned it up and it's just as yellow as hell. I mean, I wish I'd have stayed there long enough. There was a chain with it too. Wish I'd got the chain out. Somebody threw all their grandmother's costume jewelry away, and it wasn't costume jewelry. So there's no telling how much many gold and diamonds and stuff were up there in the landfill. See it all the time. Seriously, $120,000 an ounce now? So yeah, if you could mine a quarter of an ounce a week, that's not bad money. What would that be? Do math real quick, Wes. $30,000 a week. Fucking do that. Hell, I'd even be willing to go to Canada for that. Bear spray and off. I could survive Canada. Maybe. I was hiking around them Davies Mountains, and there was a couple places I'd be really, really, really willing to bust rock to see what was in the bottom of them cracks. It's volcanic. It's old. And gold and diamonds come from volcanic stuff. Just saying. Yeah, that's what it'd be. $120,000 an ounce if they. Yeah. see what a dollar, and we've been having this discussion on this channel, and used to go back and forth with Dad on YouTube about it. Some in the early days, the value of the and the purchasing value of the dollar. Okay, the purchasing value of the dollar goes down with the increase in the mean income or medium income exponentially. So and if the lower end, like the working guys, the guys that are making 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 32, 40 bucks an hour out here in the oil field. Yeah. That y'all, well, those guys are coming over and taking the jobs nobody else wants. That's not true. You can drive a truck in the oil field. I mean, you're not going to be home, but you can make $120,000 to $180,000 a year driving a damn truck. There's some other stuff involved. You're going to be out in the heat. You're going to be there. You don't get to go home. When your truck's there, you're there. If you're lucky, you're working for a company that will bring a relief out, so you only have to be there for 12 hours. But it's 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't park that truck unless it's broke. And when the truck is broke, you're at the shop helping the mechanic fix it. So, but you're banking it. There is a lot of money to be made in the oil field. But too many people have convinced their kid that if you work with your hands, you're not a real human. You're a lower form of life. Well, guess what? That Mr. $35,000, $40,000 a year for your college degree, that lower form of life has a paid for 3-bedroom, 3-bath house, paid for bass boat, and 4 or 5 vehicles out in the front that are all almost paid for. And he ain't been working but like 5 or 6 years. So that's his second time around. The first time he got in the oil field, he blew it all on women and stuff. My brother-in-law did it until he retired at 66, 67, something like that. He drove a buddy load and a pup in Wyoming and Montana all year long. All year. Snow. He still had to make the runs. He still had to go up the mountain. Then they told him if he go do the same thing in the Dakotas, they'd almost double his money. So he spent the last 5 years or 8 years or something like that driving in the Dakotas. And that was just transport. He was making $150,000, $160,000 a year driving the transport. So, if you can't drive transport, there's something wrong with you. You pull up to the tank battery, you hook the hose up, you turn your pump on, you fill it up. There's a little thing that says when it's full. Turn the pump off, pull your hose empty, put your hose back on your truck, fill out your little paperwork, get your truck, drive over there, reverse everything, and when your numbers match the numbers on the LAC unit, you're good to go. You're golden. You go back and get another load. You just do that all the time. They're not paying you by the load. They're paying you like $23 an hour to drive back and forth. You have to get on a 4-lane highway hardly ever. I don't know what happened to Fort Knox. I don't know what's going on at Fort Knox, but I'm watching videos of these. I don't know where they're at. I just know they're speaking Asian, and they are panning in creek beds and riverbanks, and they're pulling excellent color. Some of them you can tell it's a setup, but some of the others, you're just like, holy shit, these guys are banking it. So such is life. Anyway, that's it. Live stream's over. It's because I'm tired and it's late. It is 11 minutes to my bedtime. So God bless y'all. I appreciate y'all staying in here. Check around, ask around, look around. Put a video out there about those stinking Bitcoin towers, Bitcoin mining towers or operations or whatever they're called. You don't need that many of them to mine for Bitcoin. People mine for Bitcoin all day long on the laptop. So they're building a network. I believe they're building a network to handle, which they don't have in place yet. As soon as they get it in place, I guarantee you, by the time they get it in place, they will have all the bugs worked out of it. They've been working on that for how long with the cards? So, and how long with this Bitcoin stuff now, and all the different kinds of coins and everything. We're screwed. God bless you. Tough to laugh. Do not die.